Okay, well, I have had an altercation with a shoplifter in Tesco's in Ascot. I'm going to tell you all about it and tell you how I just think it's symptomatic of the problem that we're having with uncontrolled immigration leading to massive criminality. Hello, everyone. This is Andre Walker, slightly shell-shocked Andre Walker at the incident that's just taken place. Please do subscribe and hit the bell notification icon, but also I want you to support G Live News podcast. The link is in the description. It's a new channel that's got loads and loads of information. It's launching on Saturday. If you subscribe now, then you will be one of the first people to see the new content that's being made by Alistair Chambers and all of my mates. Okay, so let me tell you what happened. I've just got back from Gloucester, as you can imagine, because I'm supporting G Live, which is the channel I was just talking about. And I decided that I'd buy some stuff to make some pancakes for Shrove Tuesday. Well, when I got into Tesco's, there was a chap, and he was there on the floor with a Primark bag, nothing to do with Primark, by the way, and he was moving, you know those little wet wipes that you get, but he was taking all of them and putting them in a bag. Now, I'd watched a documentary, I'll see if I can put the link in the description, about how Romanian gangs steal to order. So what they effectively do is they'll say, right, we need 400 units of Colgate toothpaste, and all across the country or all across the south of England, they'll steal them all simultaneously so they can rebox them and sell them off wholesale. And in fact, they actually caught somebody, an Indian company, that was selling all of this stuff. So I saw him do that, and I thought to myself, personally, I think he's going to rob the place. So I just kept a bit of an eye on it. Well, I didn't really keep an eye on him. I was trying to find butter and eggs and all this sort of stuff because unlike you lot, when it comes to Shrove Tuesday, I don't have the stuff in the fridge. Therefore, I have to buy it. I appreciate that you're supposed to be using up the stuff you've got left before Lent. But anyhow, so I got to the door, just happened to be walking past the door as he had tried to get out. So I pushed him backwards, and he was quite shocked. And then he tried to have a bit of a thing with me, and we pushed and shoved a little bit. And then the Tesco staff came over and told me to let him leave. And then I explained what I thought of him, which I won't explain to you. Now look, this isn't a video about me being some sort of a hero. At the end of the day, I had a bit of a scuffle with a bloke, and the stuff that he wanted to steal, he stole, and he got away with it. Well, apart from the fact, I think one of the managers of the store had actually spotted him already, and he said that he'd come over. So I think the guy didn't get as much as he wanted, and he got shoved a couple of times. But this is the thing that really worries me about this whole situation that we've got in this country now, with criminality being completely out of control. Now, I don't know where the person who did this was from. I mean, he sounded like he had a sort of generic London accent, but the gangs behind it are people that have come to the country more recently. Presumably the guy that I had a fight with, even though he was a big bloke, presumably was some sort of a baghead. I don't know. He didn't look like he'd had all the weight loss associated with heroin, but okay, maybe he was that sort of a person. But the gangs that sit behind this are the people that are driving it. And that is something that has come from uncontrolled immigration. I made the video yesterday about criminal gangs, Romanian criminal gangs or foreign criminal gangs dressing as police officers and going around Gloucester, knocking on doors. That was part of the reason that I went to Gloucester. And you've got these people, elderly people, who are then being done with distraction burglary. What upsets me is this. I'm not anti-police, though if you watch this channel regularly, you might think that I am, and I don't think that you are either. British police, in some respects, the best in the world. You are able to argue with them largely. I mean, they don't knock on your door for insulting them. They knock on your door for insulting somebody else on Twitter. But even though British police used to be the best, even though the warrant card is something that's considered sacrosanct in Britain, what we've seen more recently is them focus on things that aren't important. Community policing, the implementation of PCSOs, and then all of the stuff on Twitter and offending people. And, if you've got a penis and testicles but wear a frock, is it a criminal offence to say you're a bloke? I don't know. Question mark. But that is the thing that they're now focusing on. And I really think that the big problem is this. What these guys in Tesco's, and by the way, hello to everyone at Tesco's in Ascot. I think you did an admirable job. I think you're right to say to stop simply because you wanted to protect people and make sure nobody was injured. You don't know if you're going to get stabbed or anything like that. I didn't feel in any particular danger, though you are a bit rattled when these things happen with the shock of it. But I do think they were right to protect me and ensure that actually the incident was just diffused without any real violence. But we've got to do something now about this. I remember when I worked on Tooley Street, properly worked on Tooley Street. Ironically, I now work on the street next to it for a different company. But we used to have a major problem with theft of bags. And I remember the police saying, we don't routinely investigate bag theft, but because there's thousands of them and we can't focus on each one. No. There's not thousands of different perpetrators. There's 10 different perpetrators doing it 500,000 times over the course of their entire career. What you've got to do is you've got to have a crackdown. Now, what I personally would do, so let me give you this example. They told me that Tesco's in Reading has one shoplifter like that every 20 minutes. Okay, what you do is dress police as Tesco Express workers and wait. Now, are you telling me that the shoplifters in Tesco's in Reading, in Bracknell, in Ascot, in Windsor, in Slough are all different people? No, they're not. What you do is you start grabbing them. And what the police are now doing, because this traffic light system and because of the priorities that they have, you are letting them away with it. But it's turning into a major problem. I don't blame the guys from Tesco's for not stopping a shoplifter, because there's now so many of them that it's become dangerous. There's no longer any threat associated with this. I would never encourage you to commit crime, but the reality is Tesco's policy is that if you fill your bag full of shopping and simply walk out, they'll let you do it. Well, I mean, they're not very happy about that, but that is the reality of the situation. And this is not, by the way, a rebuke on Tesco's. I just want to be absolutely clear, because they are as much the victims as everybody else. But we've got to stop it. And it's time the police said, you know what, on Twitter, we don't care what's going on. Do you know what I should do? Do you know what I should do right now? I should misgender the shoplifter, because then the police would intervene. But I mean, it was sad to see the workers just logging the theft and saying that actually one of the bigger problems is not the money that's being lost, because one of the other customers was going, well, the Tesco shareholders don't pay for all of these losses. And the guy in the shop made a brilliant point. He said the big problem is not the lost money, because obviously it doesn't affect me. He said it's the fact that these toiletries, things like nappies and whatever, when they've all been nicked and somebody comes in, the purpose of a small local shop is in order to have all the items that people need. And unfortunately, it's not always available because of this theft that takes place. I mean, look, I saw at M&S once in Waterloo Station, somebody just put all the fillet steak into a bag and leave with it. I think I saw at Euston, somebody say, at Christmas they sell these packs with like perfume in and toiletries and all this. Well, these things are about 50 quid each. I bloody take a big load of those. But anyway, I want to thank the staff at Tesco Express and Ascot. Very, very nice people. And they were probably right to stop me doing anything more. But when he said, you get out of the way, I went, no, I don't think I will. And then it all went a bit bad from there. Anyway, that is the country we live in today, and that is something that's related to uncontrolled immigration. So we've got to stop it. Please do subscribe to G Live. The link is in the description. Until next time, goodbye.